So speaking of investors, can you talk a little bit how you deal with, for example, co-signers?
Mm-hmm.
Say for example, I come in and my financials may not be up to par, but I have someone else whose financials are up to par, and they may also have some capital that they want to invest into the business. How do you underwrite that?
We would underwrite them. Basically, they would be 100% guarantor on the note if they came in, and I would have that one conversation with him and said, all right, you understand that you're co-signing on this loan. And if something happens and we have to collect a payment on it, I'm coming to you to make the payment on it. And I just want to make sure you understand what you're doing, because I don't ever believe in surprising anyone. When they come in and close, they need to understand that they are liable for the loan. But basically, that's, you look at a co-signer, they're basically partners now.
Now, speaking of co-signing or the personal guarantee aspect of it, can you just be very specific about what that means? Because a lot of times when people apply for business credit, they think, okay, well, everything's going in the business's name, and I'm off the hook per se. And that's not really the reality. Generally, especially for new clients, new customers, it's going to be a personal guarantee required, meaning that if the business is not able to fulfill its debt obligations, then next in line is the person.
Yourself. If Toby Brown comes up and borrows money from Core Bank and his business is not able to service the debt, then I would make a call to Toby and say, Toby, you're gonna have to step up to the plate and make the payment on this. And that's how a guarantee works. So if Toby went out and guaranteed XYZ company for a friend of his, and the friend just falls off the face of the earth and nowhere to be seen, and Toby hasn't seen him, I'd say, Toby, you need to make the payment on this, and Toby would make the payment. That's how a guarantee works. You step up to the plate if all else fails, and I've seen it happen to where an investor will start a business and they just kind of go AWOL, and somebody else the guarantor has to come up and make the payments and service the debt on it.
Now, there are situations, obviously the goal for the business is to get the business in a position where it can sustain credit on its own, to where a personal guarantee is not required, right? So that takes time, obviously.
Right, but as a small bank, very rarely do we ever do a loan that doesn't have a personal guarantee. I mean, so when you get to be larger banks, credit like a Sonic, Chesapeake, some of the publicly traded companies, you're not going to have guarantees, personal guarantees, but small real estate companies, restaurants, oil and gas, small oil and gas companies, you're going to need a personal guarantee.
Now, you mentioned SBA earlier. I just want to circle back on that real quick. Can you talk briefly about the benefits of someone going through SBA for funding?
One of the benefits of SBA is you're able to get the financing in place. Basically, we've always said an SBA guarantee does not make a bad loan a good loan. It makes a good loan a better loan. But if you're, as a bank, an SBA process is government-backed guarantee. So what an SBA loan will do is you go out and you're starting a business. Well, we talked about restaurants. You're starting a restaurant and you're needing an SBA loan on the restaurant. You go out, do an 80% guarantee. They'll guarantee 80% of that debt, and you'll pay a fee. Sometimes it could be up to a 4% fee on it, and that pays all the fees and covers us. But one of the benefits of an SBA, sometimes you get better terms. If it's a real estate loan, you might be able to get a 25-year AM, whereas some banks on it might only do a 15-year AM. You might be able to do a debenture, which is a 504 SBA, which they will finance 35% of the actual purchase price of the deal. And say if it's $1 million loan, you do a 504 SBA loan, the bank will finance $500,000. The SBA will do $350,000. The borrower has to come up with $150,000. But then again, you can do a 25-year AM, which makes a new business, 25-year AM, the debt service is lower, so it gives the opportunity to be more profitable early on in the infancy stages of a new business.
Right, so advantages on both sides. It sounds like it gives the customer some advantages, some favorable loan terms, right? And it also kind of reduces some of the risk factor
Right.
for the bank. So SBA is kind of a win-win situation. Highly recommended for especially new businesses looking seeking funding. So again, guys, some of those topics that we've covered, right? So these are things that can help you, again, in terms of business funding, how to get started, what's required of you, and really putting yourself in position to be successful, right? Again, because there are going to be times where you're going to get denied, but with the information that I'm providing for you through the academy, the goal is to set you up for success, where you can walk through the door and already have your plan in place, have your financials in place, have your package put together, so when you deliver that to the bank, there's a high probability of you getting approved for business funding. All of this is going to tie together, right? We're talking about long-term sustainable growth. Nothing's going to happen overnight. We have to build this one brick at a time. But if you absorb these components that we're providing for you, then we guarantee you guys are going to have long-term sustainable success with your business. Again, we appreciate you and we look forward to growing with you.